Hello, bookish friends. Today I'm reviewing A Sorceress Comes to Call. I'm Ivy Reads. You can look me up on Instagram or YouTube, wherever you're viewing this. This is the Owl Crate exclusive edition. I love the naked foil hardcover. This says, on reagents, their uses, and the alchemical work that may be done with them. So that is a magic book they find pretty much at the end of the story that helps resolve everything. So it's cool that it's here on the cover. And then on the back it says, Great chaos is unleashed when a sorcerer dies. And it's just really pretty. And then the edges are why I had to have this book, because they were so magnificently done. Love this edition. And it has a ribbon bookmark inside, and then it's also signed by the author. Includes an inbound author letter, and then it also includes character art in the end pages. This is Cordelia and Falada. I think that's how you say it. Pretty sure it's Falada. So I didn't like what they picked for the end pages for the back. Spoilers ahead, although since it's a Goose Girl retelling, I feel like it's not that much of a spoiler because but if you haven't read either and you don't want spoilers, stop the video and don't proceed. So the end pages in the back are where they are confronting Falada and are about to kill him. But like, if you hadn't read the book and you just look and see that, it just looks like animal cruelty. Like, so I don't know how I feel about that being the end papers. I feel like they could have chosen a better scene to spend so much work on. Like, that was an upsetting scene. Anyway, this is the reverse jacket art. It shows the characters. And then this is the redesigned jacket that I also really loved. So, as I said, this is a Goose Girl retelling. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really well done. It was very interesting. The pacing was great. I maintained interest through the whole story. Um, it does differ a lot from the original Goose Girl myth. Well, folktale. I guess it's not a myth, it's a folktale. Which, to be honest, the only thing I do remember from the original Goose Girl folktale was her passing through, the little girl passing through the gate, and the horse's head being mounted up on the gate, and it speaking to her, and her speaking back to it, which is what I expected to happen in this book. It's not, but there is a call to that in how they deal with it. The Falada is actually a demon who is her sorceress mother's familiar, and he's evil. He's pure evil. Just a bad horse. I don't condone animal cruelty, but and I like the part in the book where the old stable hand, old Ben, was gonna stop them, and then Falada bites off his ear, and he's like, I should have known better than to think you would mistreat an animal, because that is not a horse. Proceed. Um, which I really enjoyed. And I enjoyed that people tried to stop the animal cruelty when they thought it was, an animal and not a demon that was going to try and kill them all. I adored the romance between the older characters, which you can see here. Lord Richard Evermore and Hester. There we go. The story almost feels like it's more about them. It happens a lot from her perspective, but it also happens from Cordelia's perspective. But with the way the book ends in the epilogue, and just the ending in general, it feels more like Hester was the main character all along, or Henny is the nickname for her, so maybe it was Henrietta or something. Um, I'll have to. No, it's Hester. Okay, just making sure. Um, they were Hester and Richard were lovers in the past, but she never married him because she was too old. And he's always been sweet on her and basically refused to marry anyone else because she was only ever the woman for him. And I loved that portrayal of sweet romantic love that sees past age and cares about the heart of the person, and like no matter how old she gets, she's the woman for him. And same for him, like she's like, "Oh, I'm a 50-year-old lady, which is so old. You need to go marry a 20 spry 20-year-old even though you are also 50 because that is how things are done around here." And he's just like, "Gag, marry me." Which is great. Love it. Um the my only issue and why I took off a fifth star was the ending, and that is because the whole book they're trying to stop. Well, Cordelia is trying to first escape and then stop her evil sorceress mother, and once that's resolved, there's nothing. Like that's just it. Like they stop her, and then I mean Richard does say he's gonna adopt her, so she'll have a family and stuff, but it doesn't talk about any of her hopes or dreams or anything that she might have desired or wanted once she was free of her mother. And I found that very disappointing because it's difficult to imagine because she's so focused on getting away from her mother that I can't really picture what happens after. Like, and I would have loved some seeds for that. And the other part that killed me is that Richard has been trying to marry Hester for the last 10 years, and she still won't marry him. And like, so he works up, he's like, well, it's not appropriate for a bachelor to adopt a young girl without a chaperone, so why don't you come be her chaperone since her late mother married your brother, so you're technically her aunt, so it would be totally appropriate for you to come. And basically, they're going to shack up together. But she still won't marry him. And then in the epilogue, um, they're reenacting a scene from their youth when they were courting, where he stayed home from a ball so that she could cut an abscess off a goose's foot. And she was so impressed how he chose to stay with her and do this menial, dirty thing over going to the ball. And he did it again, and again, she's testing him. She keeps testing him. Like, she's been testing him throughout the whole book. And he passes every one, and she doesn't grow. She doesn't finally accept that he really does love her, and that he's like the reason she won't marry him is she's afraid he's going to one day not love her anymore because she's too old. And she never gets past that. And I was really upset with the lack of, like, I feel like after everything they went through together with a sorceress trying to kill them all and a demon horse, like, you're exactly where you were when the book started. You're still like you've deigned to be his lover again, but even though you want to marry him, like, I'm not judging someone who doesn't want to get married. That's fine. But she does want to get married, and she never and she continues to let her fear stop her, even though they went on this magical adventure where there should have been a bunch of character growth, and they're like, and then she would be Cordelia's mother, and Cordelia loves her and she loves Cordelia. Like, it would be perfect. And so I imagine the author wanted us to picture that for ourselves, what happens. But honestly, I was pretty mad. um but that's only the last like 10% of the book. The first 90%, which is Cordelia suffering under her mother's power to make her obedient and having no free will of her own, and then trying to save people she loves, overcoming that fear of being punished by her mother. What if she makes me obedient forever? What if she never gives me my body back? What if she makes me kill the people I love? And coming to that realization that my mother's going to hurt these people no matter what I do, but at least I can say I tried to help them. And that's what matters. And that Cordelia's growth there, oh, so amazing. Realizing that love is more powerful than fear. Such a good book. So again, 4 out of 5 stars. I do recommend reading it. Thank you.